All right, good evening and welcome to Berklee GMI Global Songwriter Series. We're very excited to have you here. Thank you for joining this session. This is a very exciting opportunity for us and you to engage with Berklee and GMI faculty and learn more about the songwriting process. So I'm just gonna go over what this series is going to entail. So we have 4 sessions lined up for you, and they're all going to happen online in this webinar format. Once again, thank you for being here. In today's sessions, which is called Optimize Your Songwriting Abilities, we're going to go over the process of songwriting and everything that you need to know from the time that you have a musical idea or a lyrical idea, how to pair it together, and what are the recommendations that we can share with you to optimize this process, right? Then in session 2, we're going to move forward with production. How do you turn this idea into a production process, right? Then we're gonna move forward with session 3, and we're going to talk a little bit about distribution and release for songwriters. How do you get your music out there? How do you get your music heard? Our team will share with you tips and recommendations to make sure that your music is properly shared and heard by your audience. And this session specifically is going to pertain to the Indian subcontinent market. And then in session 4, we're going to do a critique session. So you're going to have this time to work on your songwriting skills and to produce a song of your own that you're going to get out there. You're going to get your audience to hear it. You're going to submit it to the Berklee and GMI faculty team by session 3. We're going to hear it. And we're going to critique it in the last session, in session 4 of this series. Now, what's really exciting about this series of events is the fact that, first of all, you're going to get to meet and engage with Berklee and GMI faculty. You get to work on your own music. You're going to get your music heard. And then by the end of the series, we're going to be able to pick the best, most creative works and get them heard by our audience here in this series. And we're gonna select 3 winners. And then the 3 winners I'm gonna be featured on Berklee and GMI social medias and websites. So this is really exciting. Also, something else that I like to share is the fact that this series is very special. All the attendees, they're going to be able to go from session 1 to 2, 3, and 4, all the way to the end, register and attend all 4 sessions, are going to be given a certificate of participation for this series that is co-branded by Berklee Global Initiatives and the Global Music Institute. Now, before we get started and before I introduce the team, I'm so excited to introduce all of my colleagues and friends that are featured in this session. I wanted to encourage everybody to go ahead and register for session 2. As I mentioned, participation and engagement in this series is very important. We want to get you engaged, we want to get you featured, we want to get you heard. So I'm going to give everybody about a minute to scan this QR code on the right and register for session 2. If you missed this, don't worry, because during the Q&A and during the session, we'll be able to share this link again. So let's just give everybody a minute to scan this, and then we'll get started. All right, and you should be able to see me now. Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel Abussi, and I'm Associate Director of Berklee Global Initiatives. And just like you, I'm a musician, I'm a guitarist, and a songwriter, and I'm really excited to be here. Welcome, everybody. please connect with me, connect with our team. At this QR code, you'll be able to connect on social media with me. And I'm also very, very glad to introduce my friend and colleague, Jason Camelio. How are you doing today, Jason?
Doing great. Thank you. This is so cool. This is going to be an awesome series, and really looking forward to our presenters and all that awesome music that our participants are going to make.
Thank you, Jason.
Really quickly, Daniel, before we jump ahead here, what's very interesting about this collaboration is the partnership that we have with our Berklee Global partner, the Global Music Institute. For those of you that are not familiar with GMI, they are part of a very, very special group of institutions around the world that have a brand and academic relationship with Berklee College of Music. What this means is that if you're really serious about moving forward with a career in contemporary music, this is an institution that you should check out. They have incredible leadership. They have a beautiful campus outside of New Delhi, and they have stellar instructors who are active practicing musicians in the industry. GMI delivers an educational program that is very, very much aligned with what we do here at Berklee. And so it is a place where if you go to GMI and you complete the program that GMI offers, you can actually transfer the credits from that program to Berklee College of Music. This could actually, save you a lot of money in your Berklee education. Also, it's just a great way to move forward with your career if you're seriously looking at coming to Berklee to finish your undergraduate studies. So as we go through the series, the 4 different sessions, you're going to hear a lot more information about this. And we invite you to go to berklee.edu/global to learn more about our partnerships, and also go to the GMI website, and our friends at GMI will throw that link up. Yeah, Adi did it already. That's great. Thanks, Adi. It's in the chat. And you should definitely check out that link as soon as the session's over, and learn more about what they offer. Without further ado, I want to turn this over to an incredible musician, educator, who I've had the privilege of knowing for many, many years. I knew him when he was here studying in Boston with his brother, Tarun, who's an incredible drummer. Adi's a fantastic guitarist, multi-instrumentalist, songwriter, producer, educator. And Adi, thank you for partnering with us to deliver this session, man.
Wow, Jason, thank you. Thank you for such a warm and kind introduction. Thank you, Daniel. You guys are too kind. And as Jason said, I mean, it's been such a pleasure partnering with you guys and Berklee. I went to study at Berklee many years ago, and then when I came back with my brother Tarun, we just saw that there was such a need for us to bring a change in the music education landscape, especially for contemporary music. So we set up a GMI with that vision, and we're so grateful to have Berklee support through those years, even when we were just launching. And I really have to thank you, Jason, for being with us like right from the beginning. And today's seminar is the result of years of hard work that we've been able to build our connection. And we are so happy to see so many musicians join us today from India and even some other countries that I can see here. So it's just wonderful to see all of you here. And a little bit about our programs. We offer currently diploma programs in music performance and music production and technology. And as Jason said, once you finish our artist diploma, you can use that to transfer your credits to Berklee and then continue your education on your bachelor's degree at Berklee. And we also have some programs that we do with Valencia campus as well. So again, welcome everybody. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, both of you. All right, well, I guess it's time to move forward and introduce our special guest. So as part of this series, Berklee is very excited to bring to you Assistant Professor Valerie Orth. She's a professor in the songwriting department at Berklee College of Music. She's teaching music technology and production classes, as well as a 101 songwriting lessons called Directed Studies. Valerie also teaches in the Berklee Online Songwriting Master's Programs and 5-week Performance Summer Program, and she's the director of Berklee's Summer Songwriting Workshop. Okay, she's also the recipient of the Berklee faculty fellowship, and with this fellowship, she grew a program that she built in the Middle East called Palestine Beats. Palestine Beats amplifies the voices of emerging Palestinian artists through the music. So we absolutely thrilled to have her feature in this session. How you doing, Valerie? How's everything going on your end? We're so excited to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here. Hi, everyone. Great to meet you. Thank you, Daniel, and everybody for inviting me to speak today. I'm really honored to be here. Just getting on, I'm seeing a lot of action in the chat, which is awesome. I think that my colleagues are going to help me with that. If you guys have questions throughout my presentation, you're welcome to put them in the chat. And like Daniel said, there'll be some time at the end for Q&A. So I think that QR code goes to my Instagram. That's what I'm guessing. So feel free to add me there. I'm definitely on Instagram more than the other ones. Okay, so should I get started? Let me actually, before I even start my presentation, so I'm going to be talking about optimizing your songwriting abilities. And I'm going to focus a lot on lyrics today, because I do think without a good lyric, you don't really have a good song unless it's an instrumental song. So what I want to hear from you all, I know there's a lot of you there. I'm so excited. Why do you write songs? Why do you write songs? How do I turn that sound off? Can I turn the chat sound off?
We got it. Daniel just needed a mute.
Oh, okay, got it. So yeah, I just want to hear from you. Why do you write songs? Why do you write songs? So I see to express yourself. So you would say, I want to express myself. So personally, why do you write songs? And if you haven't written a song before, why do you want to write songs? So now I can see the chat. Yeah, so many good things. So I see a lot of expressing. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, it's going really fast now. Okay, what I saw was to express yourself, to express what you're feeling, to liberate yourself or myself, to tell my story, creating something new, to educate, to deal with my feelings. A couple people want to be famous. That's cool. I mean, it's great. It's great. Whatever you want to write about and for, that's awesome. Creating awareness, emotional relief, to heal, empowerment, get it out of my system. I feel that. Telling a story, collaborating. Yeah, collaborating is awesome. Education, educate others. Yeah, and I think what's really cool about songwriting and about music, as you know, it's like everybody, we can feel it across cultures and across the world. And with lyric writing, these songs that I'm going to present today are in English, but I do encourage you to write in any other languages that you speak to express yourself best you can. So I'm going to share my screen. Feel free to keep commenting while you're writing, and read others' comments of why they write songs too. We're in a songwriting community here. So I'm going to do this. So everyone can see my screen. Optimize your songwriting abilities.
Looks good.
Awesome. So one thing I want to make sure you all have is a notebook and a pen, or if you have like a phone to write on or a laptop during this workshop. We have a whole hour and a half together. So make sure you have that. Obviously, you're probably on your laptop, so you can just open another window and type away. So the first tip I'm going to give you as a songwriter, I've been writing for a long time. Let's make sure I'm getting the right here. Show, don't tell. A lot of new songwriters start by I just want to tell my story, and this is what happened. I walked down the street and this happened, and da da da. So I love this quote. Don't tell me the moon is shining. Show me the glint of light on broken glass. Show me the glint of light on broken glass. So actually describing something using your senses, and we're going to talk about that later. So I want to listen to this song and hear from you all. I know there's a lot of people. I'm a very interactive teacher, so regardless of how many people, I still want to hear from you. I'm going to play this song that I feel it's one of my favorite songs. It's by Chris Delmhurst, called Heavens Hold the Sun. And I feel there is a lot of showing here. There's a lot of description using her senses. So while you're listening, and I'll show the words, I just want you to think about, and you can tell me what it is, how is she describing things? Which senses is she using? So here are the lyrics, and then let me make sure you can hear the song. All right, so it's just about, I'll start it a little bit and play the first 2 minutes of it. Okay. Oof, that song gives me the chills. So think about what is it that she's saying? Hopefully, so everybody could hear. Okay. So think about what she's saying. I'll just tell you, you can feel free to write in the chat as well. But what she is saying is, I can't wait till you get here. That's all she's saying. And I'm excited. I have feelings about you getting here. I miss you. But she's showing it. If she were to just say that, it wouldn't be a song, right? It would be, that's it, 5 seconds. I can't wait till you get here. So yeah, she's waiting and she's missing someone, she's waiting for them to come. And she explains it through metaphors. She shows it. She's using verbs like, or she's using senses like smelling of the struggle. It's like you smell the struggle too, right? She's talking about what she's hearing. I hear it, it's too loud, it's strange to ignore. That's an interesting way to explain a sound, auditory, yeah. My heart's steady as a snare drum. So already, you know, especially as musicians, we know, okay, the snare is usually on the 2 and the 4. And in the production, which you'll talk about in 2 weeks, I'm sure they're going to talk about how production supports the meaning of the song. So her heart's as steady as a snare drum. You know that snare drum is coming in every 2 and 4 of the measure of a pop type song. And you see it, the ocean meets the shore. You can see that happening. You're like, oh my God, yeah. And I never thought of it that way. And the other important thing about this is that I bet a lot of you, if you've ever missed anybody, or if you were ever excited for someone to come home or to see, you probably put your own story in this song. Like, you don't know Chris Delmhurst, I don't think. I've met her once. Not excited about that. But, you know, we don't really know what her story is. And honestly, as listeners, we don't really care. I mean, we do, like, oh, I like this artist and I care about their life, but really it's just, we want to hear about us. It's not like selfish. It's just aware. You're just like, well, yeah, I miss that person and I can't wait till they come, and oh my God, they're smelling of the struggle. I already know from that line, smelling of the struggle, that it's like, I'm looking over here, it's another screen, I'm looking at the lyrics. It's like, oh man, this person that she's waiting for, like, just came from something hard. Maybe they came from war, or maybe they just came from a hard day at work. They have a hard job, or they go to college and they had exams, you know, maybe it's that kind of struggle. I've worn that face before. It always leaves a stain. Broke down the screen door. There's a line missing. Swung open or something like that. Don't bother with the bell, or swinging it open or something. Don't bother with the bell. That's like, she could have said, just come in when you get here. Right. So yeah, someone wrote, I think people just want to relate. Yeah, we want to relate. That's what music is oftentimes for. So I'm going to greet you like the desert greets the rain. I mean, you can't question that. You're like, yeah, the desert definitely wants to, you know, everybody knows what that feeling is. Okay, so now it's your turn. So I see that a lot of you have written a lot of songs before. I saw someone at the beginning said they've been writing since they were 8 years old. That's awesome. You can always get better. There's always skills to get better. And one way is what Chris Delmhurst does, is sense-bound writing. So our 5 senses, feel free to throw them in the chat if you want. Our 5 senses: sight, so next page, sound, smell, taste, touch. Those are our 5 senses. So likely, when you're writing, if you look at your writing, unless you've done this exercise before, or you kind of have a natural ability to do this, you often don't tap into all 5 of your senses. And I'll talk about the other extra senses in a second, the 6th and 7th sense you didn't know you had. But for example, if you were asked to describe the room you're in, your answer would primarily be, if not completely, be visual. So, and even if it's only visual, remember the visual has at least 3 aspects: color, shape, and texture, how something might feel. So if you just look around the room that you're in right now, try isolating an object or just the room, just kind of feeling it and noticing, for example, only shapes. only the shapes in the room. So I'm looking around my room, my home studio here. I'm noticing my speakers, I don't know if you can see them, are rectangular. My lamp shade is triangular. My mic stand is oblong and tall. So I'm looking at something in a different way. Look for similar shapes. Maybe all my, I don't know, my plant, I'm just doing this off the top of my head. I haven't done this before in this room. My lampshade is triangular, and also my chair, the top of my chair is kind of triangular, and this other chair I have in here. So look at similar shapes. And that's when we get further into this, is you're kind of looking for rhymes as well. How many colors are in your room? Like you might think, oh, my room is drab. It's just a couple colors, but maybe there's shades of those different colors, shades of blue, for example. So try spending a little time with each sense you have. And I might, we're going to have some time to actually do an exercise today, but just in terms of thinking and kind of as you go throughout the day and throughout the next few weeks, a couple months that you're going to be here, think about these things when you're in rooms, for example. How big does the room sound? So if any of you have worked in production, you understand reverb, right? So however big the room is, you're going to have different lengths of reverb. My room is so colorful, you'd go blind. That's great. Okay, so if my room sounds like this, what would it sound like if it were twice as big, half as big? What is the sound that's making it? For me, my heater is really obnoxiously loud. I try not to hate on my heater, but like recording in this room. Anyway, so like what sounds is my heater making? And how would that sound differently if it was in a bigger room or a smaller room? If I have a cat, which I don't, but if I had a cat, what does the meow sound like? If you have a desk, don't do this, but what would it taste like if you licked it? Don't lick it, but just imagine what would it taste like. So we're getting like deeper into our senses now. How would the rug feel if you rubbed your bare back on it? How would that feel? How does your TV smell? Things that you don't connect, senses that you don't connect with objects, because often we're just thinking and explaining things by the way they look. So this is an awesome time to just start incorporating things. And what I'm going to teach you is object writing. So object writing is sense-bound writing that gets you to dig. You're just describing an object or, a person, or but we're going to just start with object. And you're going to observe it and write about it just using your senses. And it might throw you off into another story. You might start talking about your childhood. If you were writing about a front porch, maybe your grandmother had a front porch, you used to play underneath it or something like that. So it brings you to other places in time as well. But right now, today, we're going to focus on the senses. This is what makes lyrics powerful. This is what brings the senses and the describing of the scene beyond visual and beyond just telling the story. Well, I felt this, I missed him, he broke my heart, blah, 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 blah. Like, it's not, you're like, okay, I've heard that before. But how do you show how that feels? How do you show a feeling? So the more senses you can incorporate into your writing, the better it breathes. So, and it takes practice. It takes a lot of practice. I noticed that when I don't write for a while, sometimes I'll like go and write an album in 2 weeks, and then I won't write a song for 6 months, something like that. And if I'm out of practice, I haven't written a song in 6 months, I need to do object writing every morning, and it warms up my senses again. And if any of the other colleagues I have here, if there's a lot happening in the chat. So if I'm missing anything, just let me know, any questions or anything like that. Yeah, so let me talk about the 6th and 7th sense. body, and motion. So your body, your organic sense is basically what, when we're saying your body, you know, organic body, we're talking about your awareness of your inner functions. Sounds a little weird, but for example, your heartbeat, your pulse, if your muscles are tense, if your stomach aches, if you have cramps, if you're breathing hard or shallow or really deep. A lot of athletes have access to this sense. They're very focused on it, but that's because they use it all the time. And you use it all the time, especially when you're responding to a situation. So like for me, so I've been sitting, producing, I'm a producer. So if I was sitting producing so long, oh, my wrists start to hurt, or I need a back rub or something like that. I'm just looking at the chat real quick, see if I'm missing anything. Yeah, actually, Nandini, I do that too. So Nandini said they put a bunch of random words into a box and pull it out whenever I feel like writing. I do that for object writing. And one thing about object writing is that you want to do it every day. Because if you do it in the morning, 10 minutes, it'll awaken your senses for the rest of the day. I promise you. This is like, I don't know if they said that in the intro, but I do like trauma-informed education. So people who have, of all ages, who have dealt with some trauma and don't have, they might have suppressed a lot of their feelings and emotions. They don't have access to it. They start writing, do object writing in the morning, and all of a sudden they're aware more, their senses are awakened again. And it's for me too, and it's for you as well. So that's organic. So let me go on. I get really excited about this stuff. So if I'm talking too fast or too long, just let me know. I promise I'm going to let you participate in a second. Motion. So this is the seventh sense you have. It's your sense of relation to the world around you. So if you're on a boat and the boat is rocking back and forth, seasick, right? Drunk. What does it feel like if you roll down a hill, or if you go scuba diving, or if you're up in a plane, your ears pop, or if you spin around in circles? Dizzy, exactly. So it's children have access to this. I don't know exactly what age group is in the audience today, but usually like 5 to 8 or under 9 years old, they're really good at accessing their kinetic sense. See, what am I forgetting? Okay. Oh, also dancers. It's not just children, like dancers are really aware of this, you know, if they're doing a spin, divers, like I said. If you're standing still, like think about if you're on a train or a subway or something, and you see and the train is stopped, and then another subway goes by, and you're like, whoa, this is such a strange feeling, right? So how do you describe that feeling? How do you describe that feeling for an object? What if it's an immobile object? How do you imagine what that feeling is? So let me just see if I want to give you maybe you guys can help me. Let's talk about an umbrella. So, umbrella. How would you, let's go back to here. Throw out a couple, think about an umbrella. Okay. What does it look like? What's an umbrella look like? Oops. Okay. Folks who wrote colorful, I would write what color. So you might have to have yes, circular, you know, think shape. You might have to have an actual umbrella in your head. You might think about an umbrella. Okay, I had this umbrella when I was 5. It was turquoise, a large hat. Yeah. So then starting to understand, okay, what did it feel like to hold that umbrella? What's the sound of an umbrella? Oh, it feels like safety. That's a good one. Whoosh. Yeah, these are great. What does this umbrella smell like? These are things I don't know if I've ever really thought of what an umbrella smells like now that I'm saying it out loud. It smells like rain. What does rain smell like? Get pretty deep here. What does the umbrella taste like? Now, I don't want you to be like licking the umbrella that's in your room right now. Just think about it. Like, what would an umbrella taste like? What does it feel like? Might be slippery. Wet, yeah. Now, body. So this is the stuff that gets a little bit like, all right, now we're getting to the advanced songwriting. If an umbrella had a heartbeat, how would it beat? Or if I'm holding an umbrella when I'm 5 years old, waiting for my mom to pick me up, what are my organic senses as a 5-year-old? Am I tense? My heart beats fast, yeah. Lonely. Yeah, I mean, like I would stay away from keep to the senses, keep to the senses. So we're talking about body. What is loneliness like? When you feel lonely, what's your heart doing? What's the beat of your heart? What's your pulse like? Are your muscles tense? Are they relaxed? Are you breathing heavier? If you're scared, you might be breathing heavier. So instead of I'm scared, I'm breathing heavy, I'm breathing deep. Umbrella. I know I'm really going deep into this because you guys are going to be doing this in a second. So I'm trying to help you out here. Your sense of the relation, your sense of relation to the world around you. So it might be the umbrella. Think about if you spin an umbrella, if you're dancing in the rain and singing in the rain, you're spinning an umbrella. You know, how does that feel? It's spinning. Okay, let's look at an example of this person, I don't know if it's person, who wrote for 5 minutes using their senses about an umbrella. Fumbling with the release catch in a hurry to get under the wide rim of the umbrella as quickly as possible. Hail hammering against the pavements, icy pellets stinging my face. Whoosh! And suddenly the webbed beast sprung from his cocoon and caught me by surprise. I jump and exclaim a loud swear word as the wind. And they only had 5 minutes, so they stopped. Yeah, I do. I think it's poetic. And eventually you're going to be changing these into lyrics, and lyrics do resemble poetry for sure. You will connect with your listener more using your senses than telling them what's happening to you. So I want to give you all 10 minutes, exactly 10 minutes. And this is really important. I'm actually going to have a timer on my phone. When you do this, you're just going to do 10 minutes in the mornings. I'm going to ask you to do this at least for the next 2 weeks in the mornings. But the reason why you don't want to do it more than 10 minutes is because you start getting excited, is because you'll not do it anymore. You'll be like, oh my God, object writing takes 20 minutes. I don't have time for that. 10 minutes only. The words do not have to be dramatic. They have to be, I'm just looking at the chat. They have to be sense bound. And also, know when you write, I'm going to give you 10 minutes to write, not an umbrella. I'm going to give you another object. You don't need to write lyrics. You don't need to write sentences. You don't need to, it can be phrases, it can be thoughts. It's just, you just can't put your pen down. I like to do it in writing. Stream of consciousness, sure. But like if you're not sure what to write, just go to one of the senses you haven't written about. So I'll put the senses up again on the screen. That's it. You're going to stop exactly at 10 minutes. So see how this is like ... is because they stopped in the middle of an idea. You're just trying to dive deeply into this quickly. So I'm giving you 10 minutes. I forget what time this webinar ends, but I'm pretty sure we have 10 minutes. Yeah. With like a million other things to talk about.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay, good. All right, great. Okay. So are you ready? Here we go. That is not there. Here we go. Bathroom mirror. I'm going to put my timer on 10 minutes and I'm going to stop you at 10 minutes. Here we go. 10 minutes. All right, go. I'm going to stop talking. Yes, the word is bathroom mirror. The object is bathroom mirror. And you're writing in your notebook or on your computer, not in the chat. Oops. Yes, so you're connecting it to all the senses. You're only writing on the senses about the bathroom mirror. They do not have to be sentences at all. It doesn't really have to make sense. You just have to use your senses. You have to write for the entire time, 10 minutes. If you think you're done, you're not. Write on another sense. Make sure you touched all 7 senses. Do not post in the chat unless you have a question. there shouldn't be anyone asking anything in the chat at this point. You're just writing. Don't waste any time writing in the chat. You're just gonna, just don't lift your pen. Just write whatever you think. It's not, there's nothing right, or I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong. You can't do this wrong unless you stop early. You have 4 minutes left. Do not lift your pen. Yes, this is a difficult exercise. And yes, you all want to write great songs, and this is what it takes. Keep writing. You're not done. Keep writing. Two minutes left. Don't lift your pen. Don't write in the chat. Thirty seconds. And Put your pen down. Stop. Okay. Everybody's pens down. So yeah, it's a workout and it's fun and you want to write more, but you have to stop. Shortest 10 minutes. It's okay if you wrote a lot. So it's a challenge and I want you all to do this every morning for the next 2 weeks. So you're going to be writing, for those of you who are part of, we're going to be doing this for all 4 sessions, and I strongly encourage you to, because I'll be coming back the last one, analyzing some of your songs, hopefully, giving you feedback. This is a chance to really dive into deeper, more meaningful lyrics and songs. And so you kind of, it is, somebody wrote, it's like therapy and it's mindful. It's mindfulness. This is practicing awareness. We are, as songwriters, we are interpreting the world through our senses for others who might not have the words for it, but it takes practice. It really does. There's no, I don't really, I mean, yeah, sure, people can be like born with some talent or whatever, but if you don't exercise that muscle, just like if you were going to the gym every day, just think of these writing exercises as like going to the gym, keeping your muscles strong. Let's see if I can. Okay. So I think my colleagues will let me know if there's anything I should answer in the chat, because I know it's great to see so much engagement. I'm so excited that you guys are trying this, a lot of you for the first time, I think. What I want you to do, I'll just share this with you while I just found this while you guys were writing. Where is it? Oh, maybe I have to, never mind. Okay, I can't get it. I wrote it and then I can't really share it. Let me read it then. Just one thing. All right, here's somebody that has done this a lot before. An object, but do we always follow? You should just, if you like, if this is right, this is good writing. So it's not, whatever you're feeling, this is great writing about it. Because literally, if you feel really bad about something, heartbreak, a lot of songs are about heartbreak. If you're just like, oh, my heart is broken, my heart is broken, my heart is broken, nobody cares. I hate to say that. I don't mean to be like mean, but if you're like describing the actual wounds that it feels like, think about it. When I'm heartbroken, I actually feel physical pain in my body. How do I describe the aches in my legs? Because I'm heartbroken. How am I going to show that? Anyway, so here's an example of somebody writing on bathroom mirror. Sorry, I don't have it. I could share. Anyway, yeah, let me see if I can share this.
Just stop sharing and then reshare the other window.
Thank you. Yeah. Now it's starting to be my, can you guys see this? And we can get it a little.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna make it a little bigger. These things open here. Okay, so here we go. They only wrote for 5 minutes. This is a different kind of exercise, but it still gives you the idea. So like a silver fridge door seen through stray wafts of shower steam, I am a huddling shadow, arms frantically trying to de-damp a ghost. I mean, this guy's making up words. A ghost-like body emerging from a rainforest into an igloo. What? I am tense like a frosty washing line waiting for the expanding sun to bring relaxation. A rounded fruit shampoo smell is the only color in the dark morning. Tentative toe tips approach the sink across the bed of icy tile nails. My jaw is stone. Small tears show that the mirror is not dead. I watch their jerky progress. Sad. Stop. Silence. Drop. My features start to become visible. Relieved, the world and I re-enter each other's existence. Okay. Pretty great writing. It's not a song, but it's definitely diving into the senses. And that's what I want you guys to do in your song, is diving into the senses. So let me see if I can, let's move on from this. I do want you to just take a minute though, to go through what you wrote, or you can do this afterwards too, but I want you to go through what you wrote and just circle, or if you have a highlighter, or just underline, if you've typed it, you know, you can just change the color or something like that. Phrases that work for you, phrases that are interesting, that you feel like could work as a lyric, or titles of a song, or song seeds. So an idea, yeah, my jaw stone is amazing. Yeah. So a song seed is like an idea for a song. Like okay, stone jaw, you know, you'd write that down, something like that. So just take a minute to do that. I want you to highlight, because you'll be doing this too in a week. If you follow my homework assignments, I won't be able to grade you on it, but this is where you can find some really great song ideas. That's not just, I miss her, I miss him, I'm sad, I'm happy. This is showing it. Okay, this is what works for you. How can you identify, somebody asked, how can you identify when something works and when something doesn't? So this is what works, what makes you excited, what gets you an idea. Somebody was excited about my jaw is stone. Cool, stone jaw. Write 10 minutes on that. It just gets you away from cliches. It gets you away from just writing the same song over and over again. You know? Okay. Let's keep going. I hope that was fun for you. Like I said, I'm going to ask you to do 10 minutes. And we're not going to do this because I know you guys probably want to hear a little bit more beyond just like the object writing. And again, this is, yeah, you can call it poetry, but this is like the way to get some great song ideas and some great phrases in your song. If you go back to the Chris Delmhurst song now. Oh, wait, I'm not sharing. Dork. Let me share my. So remember this? My heart as steady as a snare drum. The ocean meets the shore. Your love as messy as a plum. This is a lyric, you know, it is poetic, yeah. I am spending a lot of time on it. Oh gosh, okay, this is really fun. I hope you guys are getting a lot out of this. I am. We're not going to go into this, but I just want to tell you, so we write as songwriters, we write about emotions. So what if you took an emotion that you have, that you love, or emotion you don't love, and what if you assign it a color? Like this movie, why can't I think of the name of it right now? It's like one of my favorite movies. But anyway, this Pixar movie, Inside Out, thank you. They took an emotion and they personified it, right? The writers. So what if you did that? Not necessarily personifying it, but what if you were to describe an emotion with all of your 7 senses? You know, what if you were to describe being grateful? What is the color of gratefulness? Something to think about. I'm going to actually, we only have about 20 minutes left, and I'm going to end in quickly so you guys can, there's been a lot of really great questions, but so you guys can end, ask more questions. I'll try to end quickly. Sorry, I'm talking a lot. Coffee has kicked in here on the East Coast of the US. When you're songwriting, a lot of mistakes I see new songwriters make is that they try to write about everything in one song. I'm sorry, I'm going to stop looking at the chat because I'm getting really distracted. But my colleagues will help me if there's anything that I need to respond to. So I find that a lot of people are like, oh my God, I'm feeling overwhelmed and I'm going to write every single emotion into this and every single story I have and every single person that bothered me today and or this year in one song. You're songwriters, you're going to write more than one song. I suggest as a writer, you write about one idea that gives one emotion. One. These emotions are enormous. You only have 3 minutes to tell a story. One idea, one emotion. Here's how to figure out if what you're saying is what you actually want to say. Is actually what people are hearing and what you want to say, if what your lyrics are saying. So one of my students made this, which I thought was cute, like a North Star exercise. So I can share this if, Daniel, I don't know if I can share documents with people, with the writers, but who are going to be submitting stuff. But you could also just take notes. This is really important to know. What is the core message? Be able to answer this for your song. What is the core message of your song? Which one emotion do you want your listener to feel? And then answer the 5 W's. What, who, what, where, when, why. So what are you trying to say in just casual conversational language? This is not, again, this is what kind of takes it away from what we consider poetry sometimes. Casual. You can even say, your love is messy as a plum. I mean, it's a really cool metaphor, simile. Who are you talking to? So if you're just like, just have one person that you're talking to. Is it yourself? Is it your girlfriend? Is it your mom? Is it, one person you're talking to? Just one. Make sure you identify it and you only use that. You know what your point of view is. Are you saying I and you? Are you saying she and he, they, whatever? To whom? Where? So where specifically is this song taking place? Is it in a kitchen? Is it in Madrid? Is it in New Delhi? Where is this happening? Is it in your bedroom? Is it in your living room? Is it in your grandfather's attic? Whatever. Specifically, so you can describe that room. You can describe that place using all your senses. And when is the story taking place? Did it already happen? Are you using verbs that are in the past tense? This did happen, or is it in the future? Does it change throughout the song? But be very clear. Is the first verse in the past? The second verse is current, and then the third verse is in the future, something like that. And then why is it important for you to tell this story? Be able to answer all those questions. You can use this song map to show that you're going to basically write, and now this is like a specific song form. You have to have a title. What are you saying in the first verse? What are you saying? Just a phrase, not the lyrics. Just what are you saying? What are you saying in the first chorus? The choruses should all be the same lyrics, but they mean something different. If it's good writing, they mean something different every time. They mean something deeper every time. What are you saying in the second verse? How does that deepen the meaning of the second chorus? What's happening in the bridge? What's the turnaround in the last chorus? Okay. I don't even know if we have time to get into this. I'll just say,
I would say, Valerie, you've got like a good 10 minutes and then maybe some like 10 minutes for questions.
Yep.
Oh, great. Okay, so I can go into prosody a little, my favorite topic.
I think they need some prosody.
Awesome. Okay. Prosody is often actually used in the kind of poetry world, but in Berklee, we use it a lot in the songwriting department. Because it means that anything that's in the song supports the lyrics and the meaning of the song. It's when the music aligns to the meaning of the song, sorry. The melody, the harmony, everything, including the instruments, the production, everything supports what you're trying to say. What is the main emotion of the song? That one emotion that you're trying to get across, that one story. Often when I write songs, I'll write about like one interaction, one look. You could write 3 minutes on one look somebody gave you, your ex-lover gave you. I mean, I think I wrote an album about that once. Anyway, yeah, lots to include. And then how do you support? How does the harmony, how does the chord progression, the key, how high and how low you're singing, how does that support the meaning of the song? So let's just give examples of good prosody here. So Radiohead, if any of you guys are a Radiohead fan. This is the idea of the lyric you're actually saying, literally following the melody. So just kidding, that didn't work. Don't leave me high, right? This is one of my songs that I'd share. Is doing the opposite. So you can probably figure it out. So, why does it keep doing that? It's annoying. You guys hear that? The melody is going down. I hit the chat now. I can't find it. So hopefully you're with me. Oh, here's the chat. You can follow me on Instagram. ValerieOrth.com. Okay. All right. So high or falling down, right? Da, 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 da. All the music goes down. We have all kinds of like I said, I'm a producer, so there's a lot of production that follows the same idea of the prosody, supporting the meaning of the song. Okay, so this is about prosody tying in. These are some examples of chord progressions working with the meaning of the song. So this is one of my favorite artists. Just bought tickets to see her last night. So this song is called New Normal. I need to play 2 verses. I would just sit here and listen to music with you all if we had all day. But so what's happening with that chord progression is it's going from one verse to it, and now they're not even just chord progression, a different key for the second verse. Then it goes by there's 7 verses in the song, and it just keeps switching back between different keys in the song, really, chord progression. And it's that feeling of this new normal. We were kept being told, during this pandemic, it's like, oh, now it's the new normal. Now it's normal. Wait, what's happening? Okay, wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. All this stuff. It's like, okay, what is normal? there's nothing steady about this song. So this ability, you could do this in rhyme scheme and line length. There's so many ways to do this, but in chord progressions and keys, the ability to make the listener feel not steady, right? This instability. And actually, I don't have an example of a stable one, because I guess I listen to a lot of unstable music, if it tells you anything about me personally, which I shouldn't be sharing to 300 people. Okay, tune yards, chord progression. Yeah, doesn't work for me. That's stuff. All right, so it's like, bah, bah, like super dissonant. Heart attacks are not calm things. So she was able to have a very, very dissonant, oops, going back and forth. So a dissonant feeling when having a heart attack, also with the rhythm too. I'm trying to kind of speed through this. These are things to consider when you're writing. The keys, the chord progression, or key, just a key. C major, you're probably going to be writing a happy song, for example. So this is all in prosody. If you're writing in dark minor keys or things like that, the chord progression is going to have a certain feeling to it. The tempo, the song form that you're using, the melodic rhythm, the rhyme. There's a lot to consider to put an entire song together to make sure it's supporting that one lyric and emotion. Think about the arc of the song as well. Okay, I got through my presentation. Oh boy.
Awesome. Wow.
That's
Thank
me.
you, Valerie.
Yes.
So
I got really excited about that.
No, that's, I mean, the prosody thing is like, it's deep.
It's everything, man.
So I'm sure some people have questions. If
I
they
know, I
raise
got
if there's Simpsons looking Zoom hand, we could probably invite them in to talk with you. You want
Yeah.
to
You're
take
welcome.
questions?
Thank you for your gratitude. Thank you, guys.
You want to take a couple of questions, Valerie?
Of course, yeah. Should I stop sharing?
Yeah, let's do that. And what we can do is, you know, people in the, oh, there we go. So there's the first, oh, he took his hand down. It was there for a second. And now it's gone. Oh, there we go. So Shri Pranav, if you can turn on your camera. Oh, there we go. We're allowing you to talk. There we go. Brought him in. All right. So you're in the session. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so actually this is from another person, but I also have the same doubt. Do we necessarily have to keep the listener in mind?
Do you want people to listen to your music? I mean, I'm not being like rude, but if you're writing for yourself, you don't have to think about the listener at all. No. But if you
yeah, that's what I was thinking. But like, I want people to hear my song. So like, so is it necessary to keep the listener in mind, as in like, how to say? Okay, like what I meant is like what's the type of songs people listen to, if you want to stick to them, or like if there's a bigger audience with the type of song that more people like, you should stick to that, or stick with what you feel.
I think I fully believe you have to authentically know and be yourself when you're writing songs, that it shouldn't be that you're writing for a specific that's why I kind of laughed when people were like, I want to be famous. Like, you really have to, it's fine. That's a cool goal to have, but writing songs, it needs to come from you. People say, write what you know, but make sure you know yourself. So you're writing by, like, even if you're not writing about yourself, you're just being aware. That's why I always go back to the senses, you know? So it's like, if you're like, oh, I need to write pop songs because that's what most people listen to. Well, there's also like a bazillion pop songwriters that are gonna write because that's what they feel closest to. So I would see if you can identify the genre you want to write in and the music you want to write and the type of lyrics you want to write, you'll find an audience, but it has to be true to you because this is a long journey, songwriting. You'll do it the rest of your life. Does that help? Does that make sense?
I think that helps quite a bit.
Okay.
Like it's a hint in the right direction. Yeah. Thanks, ma'am.
Yeah. Good, great question.
Cool. Next we have Siddharth is up there. So let's do this. Bring in Siddharth. All right, Siddharth. You can turn your camera on too, I think. If you want.
Hi, I don't know if I'm audible. Am I?
Yes.
Hi, I don't know if this is a relative question in this conversation, but recently a song from an Indian movie called RRR, the song's called Natu Natu, won a Golden Globe. And I just wanted to know if you heard the song and if you have any thoughts on the composition of the song. I know it's not directly related, but I want to know because the song basically talks about just dancing. Like the song is about dance. It's about Natu Natu, I think loosely translates to dance. So I just wanted to know if that sort of a song is worthy of being entitled a Golden Globe winner for an original composition.
Unfortunately, I don't know the song. I'm happy to analyze and listen to songs. We don't have time for that for this webinar. Do any of you know the song? I couldn't really hear what it was called, but I don't know it.
I completely understand. It's fine. Thank you so much, though.
Yeah,
Thank you
sorry, yeah.
Valerie, we also have a couple of questions that came through the chat, if it's okay, if I can just read them, if that works for you.
Sure.
So the first question is, I cannot quite understand the difference between motion, body, and touch while writing.
Motion, body, and touch. Okay, so touch is the texture of an object, right? So you're actually like, okay, this is smooth, right? Touch. Motion is your kinetic sense, like your body compared to the rest of the world. So it's like this, you could feel dizzy, for example. It's just, it's something standing still and everything else moving around it, or this thing moving and everything else standing still around it. Body is the organic sense. So this would be actually like motion. This could also be like swishing sound. Body, organic sense is like, it's really, I really always go to the heartbeat. Like, what is the pulse? What's the pulse of the thing you're writing about, or the pulse of your own body when you're thinking about that or feeling it? I feel like the body and motion do get a little bit confusing, but one's inner and one's outwardly. One's in relation to the outside and one's in relation to what's inside. Does that help?
Yep.
And then feel is texture.
Thank you, Valerie. And I think the next question is, what inspires you the most while writing?
People, other people, my relationships with other people, always. I can't, I'm kind of a one. I mean, I write all kinds of genres and I write all kinds of songs. I write a lot of political songs, but it always comes down to some interaction, usually one interaction with somebody. Mm-hmm.
All right. And then I think we're going to answer one more question before we wrap this up and share some other information with our audience. I always get confused about whether I should start writing lyrics first or think about music/melody. Should I focus first on writing the chorus or verse? Is there any rule? I think this question came out a lot.
Yeah, there's no rule. I mean, I think this is just personally speaking, not as like Professor Orth here. I find that whatever I write first is the strongest part of the song. So, so if I write a chorus, if I come up with a hook, it's usually like the hookiest thing that ends, and then everything else supports that. The verse goes into the chorus and supports that. I find that's a really strong way to write. So that's why I said when you do your object writing these next few weeks, and as long as you can, you come up with a title. If your title's strong and you put your title in the chorus and everything is leading to that title, it's going to be a pretty strong song. So I don't, I'm also like a writer first before a player. Like, so for me, writing is going to come first, but I've also sat and just played my guitar and come up with something. Also, I make beats and then I'll sing something over that. So there's no right way to do it, but I do suggest coming up with a title and writing from that. And that way you can use prosody to tie everything together into it.
Got it. Okay. Jason, is there anybody else on your end that would like to come in and ask questions? If not,
we got a bunch of people here. We could be here for the next 4 days.
Oh,
So,
I'm so grateful.
Yeah, I think, you know, what I'm thinking now, because we're really 90 minutes into this, and it's probably be best to wrap up with you, Valerie, and you, Adi, because Adi, you're going to be leading the next session, correct?
Yes, the next one we're going to be talking all about the production aspect, because so today we spoke about crafting your song, your ideas, and putting them and giving them shape. And the next stage is where do you take that? How do you sort of arrange your songs? How do you get into the production aspect? So yes, looking forward to that and chatting more with everybody around that topic.
Right. And Valerie, any last thoughts and words? You know, you really kind of, you dropped two really heavy pieces of information on this audience today, with the object writing work that they have ahead, and also the attention to detail with these areas in prosody being a focus. But, you know, what's your words of wisdom as this group begins to, you know, go forward and start, you know, cranking on some new songs?
Yeah. You know, I would say keep writing, like write and practice. This isn't easy. The writing is hard. It's like therapeutic work. Somebody else said it feels like therapy writing. Like it's you got to write a lot, and it's kind of a numbers game also. So yeah, and use your senses, and just also just getting more connected to yourself will help you be a stronger writer and just a more authentic writer, and that'll sustain you as a songwriter.
Awesome.
So yeah, and I'm really grateful. Thank you guys for coming and attending and writing. I'm excited to see you in a couple months and hear your songs.
Yeah, Valerie, thank you so much for, you know, sharing this killing information. It's always great to see you work with participants. Daniel, how you want to tie this off today? What's next?
yeah, so I'd like to reshare some of the recommendations and ground rules for this series so that everybody knows. I know that some folks came into the session a little later. So just like what we did in the beginning, here is the QR code to register for session number 2. As I mentioned in the beginning, it's crucial that you attend all 4 sessions and that we see you in the beginning all the way to the end. I'm going to say something that is very teacher-like. We're going to be keeping track of your attendance during the session. So it's important that you attend all 4 sessions, that you contribute, that you engage with the Berklee and GMI faculty, that you do your homework, and that you work on the assignments that you're given, so that by the end of the series, we can listen to your works and then, you know, narrow it down to the winners that are going to be featured on our social media and website. So that's really exciting. Jason, if you have the link at hand, I had a chance to share that in the chat several times, so you can probably just grab it there. But for those of you who are watching this from your phone and don't have a chance to scan the QR, you will see this QR code and this link on both Berklee Global. So make sure that you follow Berklee Global on Instagram. Make sure that you follow, if you're not already, Global Music Institute on Instagram, because we will be sharing this information for session 2 again really soon. And make sure that you work on your assignment and that you show up on all 4 sessions. And for any questions, feel free to email us, email Berklee Global Initiative, globalprograms@berklee.edu. And for any questions about Global Music Institute, please email info@globalmusicinstitute.in. I'd like to thank you all for joining the session. I'd like to thank Berklee Global Initiatives and Global Music Institute for making this happening. I'd like to thank Valerie Orth for being our special guest and lecturer. Thank you all, and we'll see you in session 2. Bye all.